movies of Ghostbusters Afterlife, I have decided to rank all 4 Ghostbusters movies from the worst to the best, or really just from my least favorite to my most favorite. And so because I know everyone has an opinion and everyone will have different rankings, let me know what your ranking is of all 4 Ghostbusters movies, or if you haven't watched Afterlife yet, of just the first 3 in the comments down below. And also, I've only seen these movies once most recently, and I've made first time watching videos on the first 3 and a review of Afterlife, so you can check them all out after this video. But on with my ranking.
Forgot about my new toys. Let's go.
And in last, at number 4, to no one's surprise maybe, is Ghostbusters 2016. This probably had a really good concept, a really good modern concept with 4 female Ghostbusters, but then it didn't really work that well because each woman wanted to be funny, and sometimes it wasn't funny, but when it was funny, it was really funny. It doesn't really work that well in humor because it is trying to like capture that essence from the original Ghostbusters, like really hone in on the comedy, but it doesn't land that well every single time because it is a reboot of the original Ghostbusters rather than a sequel. We don't really get like a newer story. It doesn't really work that well either. But honestly, I did like some of the leading actresses in this. I honestly thought Kate McKinnon's character was so funny, and honestly Chris Hemsworth, he's really good in this as well. It's refreshing to see him in like a comical role rather than being like so serious as Thor. But honestly, I thought like the look and like the special effects or CGI of the ghosts were actually really good. And the final battle, like the climactic ending, I actually really enjoyed it. I really liked it because it was like all these different women with different weapons fighting off different ghosts. Like there was a bunch of ghosts, and I just really liked it. I thought it looked really cool, especially when like they got crushed by like a giant blimp or something. I just really liked it. It's not as great as I wanted it to be. It works as kind of like a modern comedy movie with like SNL characters, because it did feel like a SNL skit most of the time and not like a Ghostbusters movie, and so it is worst when it comes to Ghostbusters movies.
You should have patted her feet.
I don't think they make Nikes in her size, Ray.
Oh, don't worry, she's tough. She's a Harvard chick!
And next at number 3 is Ghostbusters 2 from 1989. And with this movie, it works, but then also doesn't work with me. Like, I really like some aspects, but then I really don't like other aspects. I really don't like when a sequel movie kind of like forgets what happens in the original one. And so in this movie, they're like down and out of luck, gone back to like their old jobs, not really ghostbusting anymore. Like, ghosts aren't real anymore. Like, everyone forgets literally the big fight, what happened at the end, and everyone forget like ghosts are real, like the Ghostbusters exist, and they think they're all like phonies. I just don't like when movies do that. You've seen that ghosts are real, but then in the next movie you pretend that they aren't, when literally a whole rooftop building like got exploded. Like, I just don't get it. And so I didn't really like that aspect in it. I felt like they had an interesting villain. I thought he looked quite interesting. I liked how they were trying to take like Sigourney Weaver's baby. Yeah, they also kind of like flipped some of the characters in this, like some of their personality. So ones that really worked in the original don't really work that well in this, and then ones who didn't really work that well in the original work so much better in this. And so Egon's character, I liked him in the original, but I loved him in this. He is so much more funnier. He's so much more interesting. But then Peter's character, obviously Bill Murray is a standout character in the original one, and in this there's just something about him which I think he is a little bit better, but then also not that much better, maybe a little bit worse. I just can't really like place my mind with this movie, and like the humor in it does land a little bit more. I think this one is funnier than the other one. Like I said with the 2016 version, where I really did like the ending, like the big fight with the ghost, I really like the ending and the big fight with this ghost. I mean, they made Statue of Liberty move, and then people, they gotta believe that ghosts are real when they see a massive Statue of Liberty walking through the streets of New York. But I really did like the more personal aspect to this movie, where like the villain was stealing Sigourney Weaver's baby, Dana's baby, and so Peter didn't like that. He wasn't having that. And so like it did feel like a personal connection between like the Ghostbusters and the villains. But yeah, I did like it, but then also not like it, and so that's why it's only third. But before I give it my top 2 movies, which one comes in at number 1 as the best Ghostbusters movie? If you like this video, leave it a like and subscribe for more. Comment down below your ranking of all Ghostbusters movies, or just what one is your worst or what one is your favourite. Coming in at number 2 is Ghostbusters Afterlife from 2021, just recently out. You can get some more of my in-depth thoughts of this movie in my review up here, but what I'm going to say is that this movie just works on every level for me. I think it is a perfect movie. It totally captures the tone and essence of the original Ghostbusters movies, what the 2016 movie failed to do, and McKenna Grace in this is a standout character. She's absolutely phenomenal in this. The whole cast is phenomenal in this. but her as the leading role, as Phoebe, as Egon's granddaughter, it just works for me. She is so funny, the whole cast is so funny. It really captures like the spookiness of the Ghostbusters, but also the comedy. It had a big emotional weight to it, a big emotional punch to it. You're gonna cry, you're gonna feel sad, and it is a perfect ending to the Ghostbusters if this is the ending. Or if we do get a sequel, it's a perfect setup for a sequel as well, and just everything works in this movie. I absolutely adore it. I absolutely love it. Recommend watching it. This is going to be one that whenever I do a Ghostbusters rewatch, I am watching it again and again and again. It's the continuation. It's not a reboot. It's the one that we have been waiting for. It's the sequel. It's the sequel movie that we have wanted for so long.
All right. This chick is toast.
But in at number 1, the unbeatable Ghostbusters movies, the one which I think is just gonna be number 1 for a lot of people, and that is the original, the one that kickstarted it all, Ghostbusters from 1984. I feel my whole life has changed since I have watched this movie, and you can check out my first time watching reaction of this movie up here after this video. I feel like I've gained a new personality. I feel like I've shifted a little bit since experiencing this movie. Honestly, all 4 Ghostbusters, they are so iconic. They are such iconic characters. From the beginning, Ray was my favourite, then Egon grew on me, Peter, Winston, I love them all. The receptionist, Janine, Dana, everyone works in this. This movie is so iconic. Honestly, I have just watched it for the first time this year, and this movie came out 40 years ago, double my age. Honestly, if I can love it, anyone can love it. This movie is for generations. It holds up. It holds up now in modern day, and honestly, it's just so good. It is so funny. It's so spooky. You got your jump scares in there. I jumped right from the beginning. Honestly, it's so funny. These characters are so good. I like the relationships in it. I like the friendships in it. The scene with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is iconic. It gives me nightmares. That's so creepy, but it is so funny. This movie is unbeatable, but I would love to see it beaten. I would love to see a sequel to Afterlife, which is better than this. Honestly, it holds up. It's amazing. I love it. It makes me feel things. It was an experience. I was sad, not because it was sad, but because I had finished watching it. And this, like I said, with Afterlife is one I'm just going to keep coming back to again and again and again. And if there is anything more iconic than this movie, it is the theme song. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I just sing that everywhere now. I hear it everywhere. It's iconic. The thing that started it all. It's such an amazing franchise. Something that everyone should watch. I recommend everyone watching this franchise, or just watching the original, or just watching the new movie. I loved all these movies. They were all good in their own special way. And yeah, that is it for my ranking. Comment down below what your ranking is of all movies, or just which one is your favourite. Gush over these movies as much as I do. And yeah, like I said, check out my first time watching reactions of the 3 Ghostbusters movies, or check out my review of the Afterlife movie. And that is it for this ranking and for this video. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. Bye!